All right, y'all, let me show you how I reupholstered these old chairs. So, start by taking off the old cushion. These are just secured with 4 screws. So I unscrewed those, lift off the chair, and here's the old cushion. Now I had already taken another one off and completely taken it apart. I don't like how there's that hole in the middle because it makes you feel like you sink into the chair when you sit down. So I'm actually throwing the whole thing away. If you like the base, if it's in good condition, then you can definitely reuse that wooden base and just take off all of the staples and use the base that you have. So here I go, cutting a new base. I bought a 1/4 sheet of plywood that was sanded. And I took the old one and I got a piece of foam board from the dollar store and cut me out a stencil. And then here it is. So I cut it down with that stencil. There, you see it there. And I sanded the edges. Now, this is a bread knife that I'm using to cut this foam. I'm sure there's a better way, but you know, you got to use what you got. So, and I wasn't trying to make it perfect because I'm going to cover it up anyway. So, man, this foam is messy, but there it is. There's my piece of foam. I used 3-inch because I wanted the padding to be a little more than the old one. So then we start with our batting. I started with 1 staple on each side just to kind of have a center point. And then I went out from the center out to the edges. I think I put about 4 staples on each side. And then for the corner, I just pulled it in and then bunched it up and secured it down. And then I did that. And then these kind of have a weird like corner thing. So then you cut off all the excess. Yeah. All right. There's the batting. So then we take our material now. Hi, are you going to help? Thank you. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're just going to pull it tight and 1 on each side. I did run my hand up the front of the cushion just to be sure that it was nice and tight, that there weren't any loose spots. And then, I know, thank you for helping. So I slowed down one of these so you could see how I did the corner. So I pull it tight and put 1 staple, and then I make a pleat on one side of the corner, make sure I like the way it's folded, and then I just fold it and tack it down. I did have trouble with my staple gun here. Oh, thank you for helping so much. So it wouldn't staple through all of those layers, so I kept having to like go down where there was maybe not so much batting and then staple it again. So I kind of went back and I filled in where I thought was the empty spots, cut off all the excess. Now, if you want to stop here, you can stop here and just use it like this. But the dust cover was really cheap, so I wanted to put a dust cover. So I did. I think it just gives it a nice, polished, clean, professional look. So I cut it roughly the size of the cushion, and then I just folded it under and put, I don't know, 4 or 5 staples on each side. Oh, run out of staples. It just gives it that polished, more professional look. So, and then there's the finished cushion completely done. And then I'm just going to put it back on the chair and make sure that it's adjusted properly and that I'm actually putting it in the right place. And there we go. All finished. Let me know if you have questions.